Hello everyone. Before I start the video and explain why I'm bullish on the overall market, I just wanted to share some stats with you guys. Out of the last 57 trades that I took, 53 of them ended up working. Not just being a flat small gain. These were on average at least 25 to 30% return on investment using options. Okay? Specifically today, we went 9 for 9. I shared 9 trades. Every single one of them ended up working. You want access to, you want to see if I'm lying? You could easily go to my Discord server. Everything is there, timestamped. You could see whether or not, okay, this guy is actually lying. Everything is there. The proof is in the pudding. So not only do you guys get my exact entry and exit points for every single trade that I take, you're also getting access to understanding how to become a better trader. We're on YouTube, right? Everyone has went through many videos about technical analysis, trader psychology, all these indicators. Oh, I found another indicator. Oh, I found another. Oh, Berta, it's the Berta. But you don't find consistent results, right? With this, you have access to me throughout the day. Any sort of insight that you need help with, any sort of indicator, any sort of understanding of how to find setups, you have access to me throughout the day, every single day. You have access to all of my buy and sell signals. You have access to my trading view indicator. The proof is in the pudding. You have access to a community of people that are making money. So it is what it is. Whether you want to join, whether you want to continue to see how well the success goes, I'm going to continue updating you guys. But so far, these are the results. If you guys want access, very simply click the link down below. And I would love to have you guys there. We have a very tight-knit, respectful, hardworking community. And if you're also like that, you want to make a better life for your family, your friends, and the people around you, this is the community for you. All right, so now let's get started with the rest of the video. We're going to talk about some of the trades that we took and why I am bullish on the market. All right, so without further ado, let's get started. So one of the main reasons why I was bullish, and especially bullish on chips, if you saw yesterday's video, is because the CES 2025 is going to occur next week. What to expect from this year, from the year's first and biggest tech show, CES 2025 officially kicks off in Las Vegas in the morning of Tuesday, January 7th, and runs through the end of January 10th. Basically, what is it? AMD, I don't know why it shows NVIDIA. I mean, NVIDIA's CEO is cousins with AMD's CEO, but it is what it is. So AMD, technology companies, Toyota, Samsung, NVIDIA are going to be sharing new technology. This is a this is a news event. Heading into news events, things are bullish, correct? So Toyota is going to probably talk about, so they're going to talk about their different new sort of technologies. NVIDIA, AMD, it's going to be good for the overall chip stocks. And the chip stocks generally rush into the overall market. If chips are bullish, the overall market is bullish. Let's just go ahead and take a look at what ended up happening today specifically. We were long NVIDIA since yesterday. NVIDIA gapped up. Not only did it gap up, guys, it closed right above the bullish above level that I was explaining a few days ago. This is mind-boggling. This was a clear-cut, beautiful setup. NVIDIA looked so bullish. NVIDIA leads, the rest of the market follows. Very simple. NVIDIA got to close above just fantastically. Tesla. We went long Tesla at 386. We went long Tesla at 386. NVIDIA is up 100%. Tesla is probably up 100% now as well. We got into calls 2 weeks out. Both of these trades are up very well. And what was I basically saying? The weakness in these large winners, Tesla, Apple, you have to see how the rest of the market ends up reacting. So while Tesla and Apple were pulling back, what was happening? Was NVIDIA pulling back at the same velocity and the same vigor, the same strength that Apple and Tesla were? No. NVIDIA made a bull flag, guys. NVIDIA made a friggin' bull flag. While all that was going on, NVIDIA set itself up for a bullish move. And today it exploded up. And this was just an amazing opportunity. AMD is also doing well also, obviously, because chips in general, AMD, NVIDIA are also going to be doing well. And you can't make this stuff up. You see bounces out of a lot of these stocks. Google is still showing weakness right at the resistance level here, at the bearish level. So it's about to cross above the bearish level. And, as you know, prior support ends up being resistance. So now this level is resistance here at 193. We got a slight close above it. Microsoft not doing too hot, but it's like I said yesterday, in yesterday's video, I showed that you want to be bullish when things are very overextended to the downside. It would make sense to start leaning bullish. That's exactly what we ended up doing. And worked out really well, honestly. So you can see that Microsoft ended up painting a green candle as well. Meta also gapped up and did fairly well also. Netflix not too hot. Netflix didn't do too well, but, thankfully we picked the winners. Also, Apple did not do too well. But regardless, Apple had a huge rally upwards. Money is flowing out of Apple into the other tech stocks that are going to be doing well, and it is what it is. So now, looking forward to what's going on now, right? What do we have? Yesterday, the issue was, so this is the S&P 500 on the daily time frame, okay? Yesterday, the issue was that we were trading below the 22.6% fib. This was an ideal situation for bulls. Why? Because this, not only did we reclaim the 22.6, we closed above the 38.2. Money is flowing into Tesla and NVIDIA. If you're a bull, you want to see those stocks do the best. You don't necessarily always, it's not always that we see Apple doing well. Apple just started doing really, really well the past few months. Apple was never a huge indicative factor the way that NVIDIA and Tesla have been, right? So we're getting money flowing into these large stocks that tend to pull the market up. We got closes above the 38.2% fib, and this is as bullish as it gets. Okay, great. Even if we do end up getting a pullback, right? Where would the pullback occur? Even if it holds above the 22.6, comes back down here, all of this is still a buy opportunity. Just the fact that we got this sort of reaction off support is very, very bullish. I'm not going to say, hey, we're going to make new all-time highs. We're just using the information that we have in front of us. What was the information? Large, important tech-related news for chips, NVIDIA, AMD was going to occur next week. Tesla vomited to the downside. Microsoft was trading outside of the lower level of the Bollinger Bands. NVIDIA was making a bull flag, even though Apple and Tesla were vomiting. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? What's the point? If you did want to short today, right? Which we didn't, right? We took some day trades. We took 9 trades, 9 for 9. Obviously, we took some shorts in the morning. But if you wanted to swing short, you needed to have a tight stop loss. This made no sense to have a swing short into a level of weakness. I'm going to keep on reiterating it. It's AMD, right? Just thinking about it from just AMD. Would you want... Zooming out. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom out real quick. Let's just zoom out. Zooming on out. Okay. Answer this question. Where would you want to be short on AMD? Down here? Or way down here? Where would you rather be short? Does it make sense to start shorting now at the crack of the lows here? At the very basically lows of this move. This is not where you want to start shorting. That's why AMD is getting a lot of love as well, is because it's such a beaten down chip stock. So AMD bounced. All of the people that were trying to short AMD, right? It didn't make any sense. If you did want to go short AMD, tight stop loss. If you did short, great. You have to be out of the trade now, in my opinion. Because this is AMD is not as strong as NVIDIA. It has room to go to above 130. And Monday could be very bullish. Heading into Tuesday can also be very bullish because that's the day that the event occurs. So you can't really be bearish when chip stocks are that beaten down. When Microsoft, you just have to lean. You just have to go with what the market gives you during that day, right? And thankfully, we went with the long side, and we are up very, very comfortably. The best part about this is that also the NASDAQ closed above its very major trend line. It also reclaimed the 22.6% fib. So this is very, very good. You could see that this trend line was something that we've been monitoring for a while, and we finally got a solid close above. Just looking at it from an objective standpoint, right? We got one close above a major trend line level of resistance. Where is this going to go? You don't see the NASDAQ breaking above 520, 521? Does that not look really, really good? Of course, it looks like it wants to break above, right? And then even if it does come back and pull back down to the trend line, even if the S&P pulls back to the 22.6, this is a bullish setup. And the reason why it's a bullish setup, the main reason why, I'm going to reiterate again, is because you got monster moves out of Tesla, and you got monster moves out of NVIDIA. And thankfully, we were long on both. We're swinging both. And you can't make this stuff up. And, it's just worked out really, really well. These are showing a lot of strength. If there's something that occurs overnight or heading into Sunday or Monday, etc., like that, it is what it is. A trade is a trade. A trade is a trade. How much are we up? All right, so look, we're up 20% on SPY and QQQ calls. NVIDIA runners are up. Tesla, we got Tesla at 17. Tesla's at 3,200 right now. So, look, you can't make this stuff up. This is it's right in front of you guys. Last few things we could look at is the VIX. The VIX got a big vomit to the downside, obviously. We look at the VIX because it has an inverse relationship to the market. If the VIX is rising, that's bad for the market. When the market was tumbling, the VIX was rising. And the VIX being this far overextended was a good indication that we were going to get a pullback in the VIX, meaning a bounce in the overall market. So we look at the VIX. The VIX helps us understand direction. Currently, it looks like the VIX wants to continue falling down. This is a bear flag. Technically, this is a bear flag on the VIX. We just broke down below on the first day. Let's see if there's more momentum to the downside on the VIX. If there's more momentum to the downside on the VIX, there is more momentum to the upside for the overall market. And last but not least, let's just go ahead and take a look at the bonds. Interestingly enough, this is the only real bearish thing that we see right now in the market. When this rises and it closes above prior highs, this is generally bearish for the market. We're positioned long. We're holding our position. I mean, look, we're up already on the positions. We took some profit. We solidified some profit. It is what it is, but this is kind of scary. This is the one thing in the entire thing that we were watching, aside from equity prices and the buying pressure that we see, this is bearish. So when the short-term bonds start to rally like this, that's what essentially causes the move to the upside when the junk is doing well. And when the junk is doing well, it's generally not a great sign. Or equities. But currently, equities are on a planet of their own. And it looks to me, honestly, like Tesla can come back and if Tesla can skyrocket to 430 on Monday. Could. The contracts are probably going to be like 4 or 5 a piece. And that's going to be huge. Not to mention, right? And then NVIDIA, we got to close above the bullish level. So we got a monstrous move. It didn't show weakness at a level of resistance. We forced our way up and closed above it. That's really, really frightening for bears. I would be very, very frightened to be bearish. Just objectively speaking now, right? Objectively speaking. I'm giving you my thought process. And regardless of what position I'm in, whatever. If you were not in any position right now, would it make sense to be a bull or a bear here? Bull, bear, or flat? Let's talk about flat. You could always be flat. It's great. You could just not choose to make a trade. But what makes the most sense, being a bull or a bear? So if you're a bear, you are basically saying that you want to go short out of a bull flag bounce above a level of resistance into important news next week. If you did want to go short, where is your stop loss? It's going to be what, 146, 145, 146 area? Okay, you could go short there. Fine. But now if you're a bull, right? Okay, so sorry. So with the short side, right? Your risk is basically $1.50, $2. Say the downside is $2 for a short position, right? Let's just go ahead and make this so you guys understand. Okay. Short position. Alrighty. Stop loss would be at the highs. Great. Okay. Where would the downside target be? Where would this is too much. But just how would the move to the downside just be stunted? How would you even how would we get these levels if we don't get a complete collapse? And the only way we get some sort of complete collapse is if buying pressure just vanishes and something happens. We broke out of a bullish pattern, right? Imagine a falling wedge pattern. Breaking out of a falling wedge and making a new low is essentially the concept of you trying to go short here, because the risk reward to the downside is just not there, in my opinion. It's just not there, honestly. So if you did want to go long, it makes more sense. You could basically go long, and especially you don't really want to be caught trying to short NVIDIA like aggressively. It made sense to go short NVIDIA over here. But when NVIDIA is leading the market right now, once again, like I'm speaking a lot, I understand, but I'm really trying to have you guys understand my thought process. The risk reward to the downside for the put side is just not there, in my opinion. And it's one of the things that is really just, yeah, if we get a close maybe below 142, 141, we can see some downside momentum. But to go short over here is very, very risky. Maybe you could find a better short up here, closer to 150, because 150 is the upside target, in my opinion, for this move. If you wanted to go long here, if you weren't holding a position, you wanted to go long, I think going long here, even though we're at a level of resistance, still makes a lot more sense because you have a lot more room to go. This could potentially even make a new all-time high. And then you have pretty solid levels of support right down below. The momentum is also in your favor. You have news coming out as well. Being long NVIDIA makes more sense to me, in my opinion. Same concept with Tesla. We were long Tesla. We got long Tesla at the bottom. I wanted to end up. I knew we were going to end up filling the gap. But now, right? What does it make sense? What does it make sense to be right now on Tesla with the same concept? Does it make sense to go short on the first move up after, a monstrous rally, after a lot of buying pressure? Does it make sense to start going short here? No. Where would it make more sense to go short? Maybe up here, where we initially broke down below, the bearish below level. There's more room to go to the upside on these stocks. To wrap it up. There's a bit more room to go to the upside on these stocks. We have news coming out next week. This is not an automatic reason to just be completely bullish into new all-time highs. But my judgment on where the market is essentially going has been pretty spot on intraday and in terms of swinging and overall market dynamics. So I do think that there should be a bit more room to go, but a trade is a trade. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Can't force it. But thankfully, you're seeing a lot of buying pressure out of chips. You're seeing Apple sort of bottom out. Apple was bottoming out here. Meta was doing well. Netflix wasn't really collapsing as much. Microsoft also caught a bit. So now it's just a matter of which way the market wants to really go. If Microsoft breaks down below 419, that might lead to more chaos in the market. So we need to watch to see if 418, 419 holds on Microsoft. If Microsoft starts to really collapse, that might be an issue because, it's not always an issue, but if it really starts to collapse and make new lows, that might be an issue. That might be an issue. All right, so we're gonna have to take a look to see what happens with Microsoft and Google and the rest of the tech stocks. But so far, Apple's bottoming out, NVIDIA and Tesla are showing strength. All right, that's that. To be honest, I also bullish on Bitcoin. This morning we went long on Bitcoin. I didn't share it, but I went long on Bitcoin. That's also going to be part of my new strategy as well. My new swing trading strategy also includes crypto, and we went long crypto. Yeah, I didn't share it, but we went. I took some longs, and on crypto, Bitcoin also looks bullish. Let's see what ends up happening. Altcoins and alt season is also going to do very well, in my opinion, very soon. So positioning yourself into, Sol and Ethereum Classic and all these other stocks, man, it is what it is. I was bullish on Solana down here, and now we're at 217. Very, very simple. Can't make this stuff up. If you guys want access to everything, the link to join is down below. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I will see you guys bright and early Monday morning. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.